Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I am doing a book review for James Yeary's What I Saw. And right off the bat, I did give this book 4 stars, and thank you to the author for sending me a copy of his book. It's a short read. I think it's clocking in around like 100 pages or so. The font's pretty large, so definitely worth giving a try. I like his style of writing. He basically writes 3 different parts to the story, 3 or 4, and basically it's connected based on the events that are occurring in the world. And I kind of want to be discreet on explaining things because I don't want to spoil anything. It is a quick read, but it's a supernatural type horror story. So what I will do is I will read my Goodreads review. For plot, I gave it a 3.5. This one is broken up into 3 sections, written in the first-person narrative. It is a supernatural horror and definitely leaves you with questions. I love the final section where the author gives you a sneak peek into some files that explain about each individual scene. The first section of the book covers a young man in college and his girlfriend coming in contact with something. Next section follows a police officer responding to a call. The officer finds more than he bargained for. That was actually probably one of my favorite parts, but I also like the first part because I got a lot of the author's personality coming through in the first section, and I believe he is a photographer, the author, and I think even his girlfriend is. So you picked up on that because I think the 2 characters in the first section, that's what they like to do as well, and they're in college. And I just thought that was cool because it showed, I don't really know the author very well, but following him on Instagram and everything, it did kind of show more personality. And you can kind of see that first-person narrative where he's, even when it's just you pick up on the author a little bit. So the next you're with a high school age kid who sees something outside his house in a rural Tennessee. That one actually was pretty. I thought that really set the tension, and you didn't really know what was going to happen. I really overall enjoyed the tension that was portrayed in the story through the writing, and that narrative just keeps you on your toes the entire time you're reading it. So yeah, writing and character work, I gave 4 stars. And so the author definitely took his time with this and put a lot of effort into putting out a great product. The characters are believable overall, and the tension built throughout. That's pretty much what I already said. And just who doesn't love this? I don't want to call a cover simple, but I feel like that's okay. I feel like sometimes this just kind of sets the scene for how the book is. You're kind of like scratching the surface of the story, but at the same time, you feel satisfied when it ends, if that makes sense. It's definitely horrific, but at the same time, you're like, I want more. So I feel like that's pretty good. Horror, honestly, I gave it 4 stars. This is my type of horror, nothing over the top or done for shock value. Well-written tension and thrilling ride is always a good spring read. I totally agree with what I already wrote, obviously, because I wrote it. I don't know why I just said that. But yeah, it's just, there was nothing like that was just done for the sake of doing it. It was all to drive the plot, and I appreciate that in a horror story. Very like Stephen King-ish, I hate saying an author sounds like a different author, but very like Stephen King, shorter fiction type story but just the writing is totally different. Where Stephen King rambles, this is more to the point and just exactly what you need. Sometimes it's just really cool to pick up a book that you can read in one night. Overall, 4 stars for me, 4 stars is proving to be elusive for me, so take my word for it. This is worth a read. I am looking forward to what the author writes in the future. Could I have found the new voice in independent horror? I definitely will be checking out more by James, and he's a pretty good guy, and I think I seen John review this book, and I just love reviewing books that no one else is talking about in my circle. and that's cool. So definitely thank you to the author for sending me this copy. And yeah, 4 stars. But let's read the synopsis on the back. It just says, "Dear reader, the enclosed documents tell a story only witnessed by a handful of individuals. The organization responsible for its secrecy and the unleashing of the otherworldly evil. Be warned, the first-hand accounts compiled to create this book are disturbing in nature. Read them at your own risk." So yeah, so they kind of alluded to the fact that it is supernatural, coming from possibly another world, and that's the type of horror we're dealing with. So yeah, definitely give it a check out if you guys have the time, and thank you. Have a good day.